everyone, welcome to our third virtual assembly, and today I'm talking about the importance of effective communication and the importance of connecting at a time where we are, by definition, apart. So I want you to think about the following. Do you think that communication is more or less important during a time of lockdown? Because we might be communicating more with some people using technology, but we might be communicating less with other people, for example, our teachers, people that we only see at school. So it's really important to think about how we can make sure that we communicate effectively when we get a chance to do so. So what do all of these images have in common? Well, hopefully you can see all of them on the screen. You've got here a radio, a post box, a carrier pigeon, some writing in the sand, and smoke signals. Well, all of those over time have been used to communicate. And then if we really think about it, how do we communicate using these forms? Well, it's all when we have to communicate from afar, when people are far away from us and we want to try and reach out to them. So when we think about that, that's exactly the situation we're in now, and yet those people might only be next door, down the street, in the same town as us, but they could feel a world apart. So communicating at a distance never really takes the place of communicating face to face. And we know that, and we know that it's really important that actually physical closeness makes a real difference to our mental health and how we feel, how we connect. And at this time, I think that's the thing I'm struggling with the most. I speak to people all the time on social media, on Zoom chats, we've done family quizzes, but I'm finding that that doesn't quite replace the direct contact you have with somebody. But that's what we're faced with at the moment. So what we need to think about is how to communicate effectively when we don't have all the same signals that we would normally have. We know that body language experts say that facial expressions and body language actually makes up for 65% of all communication. So particularly if you're not using video chats, that's something that's missing, and that's why obviously we're trying to make sure that we do these virtual assemblies and these Instagram posts so that you can actually see us, hear us, and know that we are here for you in these really strange and challenging times. Now, the other thing we've got is this distance between us, whether it's through a screen, but also for those of us that are coming into school for the key worker provision, we're having to be really careful about the distance that we keep between each other. When we go to the supermarkets, I have to drop stuff off for relatives in terms of shopping because they can't go out, and keeping that physical distance is really hard because we're not quite used to that for people that we're close to. Personal distance is actually quite a short distance between people, and that makes you feel close. But of course, social distancing, which is what we're doing now, a physical distance, and actually it talks about words like acquaintances. Well, we're not acquaintances with our family and our best friends, but yet we feel like it now, having to maintain that distance. And you know, we might be used to it to people that drop off deliveries for us, but even more so now, we don't even greet them at the door. It's definitely a strange time. So during this time, how do we really connect when we're not at a personal distance, when we are at social distance? And what effect can that have on us? I don't know about you, but I'm finding this week more challenging than other weeks because I'm really starting to miss people now, starting to wish that all of this was over. But obviously we know that if we break this too soon and we don't follow the guidance, that there could be consequences that none of us would like, and that we would all be scared to see the result of. So it's really important we stick to it. So how do we kind of stay strong in this time, and what can we do to help ourselves? So I just want to share with you some ways that you can connect, really connect, not just communicate, but connect with people. I've seen some really great themed cards that have gone out all about this time of lockdown. I've had to send cards that are themed to people for their birthdays because they are in lockdown, and they're probably not the most exciting birthdays, probably not how they imagined they'd celebrate them. I miss your face, but not enough to have a video chat, because we all know that turning on that camera is always a hard one. Also, people that have had babies during this time, meeting grandparents through the window, it's not quite the same, but people are finding ways to connect and to still keep those social distancing rules, but try and still connect with families at what would be a really special time for them. And again, another example of a card, Gavin and Stacey, always a fave. Zoom chats and other video messaging is a really great way of keeping in touch with those that you know. Obviously, we still need to make sure we stay safe, and that's why we've put so much out there about online safety. It does need to be people you know, but it can be a really great way of chatting with big family groups. We do a family quiz, for example, in my household. I received a little tiny telegram through the post with a little message inside, and that was a really nice way as well of connecting with somebody during a time where we would normally see each other every single day. And also, I think what's really been important for me is I moved not too long ago. My projector is overheating, but we will still keep going. But not too long ago, we didn't really consider standing on the streets and chatting to our neighbours, but now I really look forward to the Thursday Clap for Carers, because it's a time where I get to see other people in person and actually just wave them across the street or talk to my neighbours next door and just say, everything okay, how's it all going? And that's been a really nice way. But also connecting to the people that are helping us on the front line. We're able to show our personal thanks and appreciation and really connect with each other. And I know loads of you have done things like the rainbow posters and other ways of actually connecting to people. So kind of moving forward, I want you to think about that. How can we connect to people? So obviously you've still got the Clap for Carers on a Thursday night. You could actually connect with your family a bit more. Could you do something around the house without actually having to be asked to do so? That form of connection, we all have different ways of showing love for people, and actions are really important to lots of people. So doing something that shows I'm thinking of you, I care about you, and just getting it done. It might be just doing washing up, it might be putting something away, or doing something nice, prepping someone's favourite meal. Obviously you can write letters, cards, email somebody, just to let them know you're thinking of them. Obviously this assembly is going out after VE Day, but I'm filming it just beforehand. So I wonder whether any of you did anything for VE Day. Did you take part? Did you connect with your neighbours that way? And also that connection to the past, it was perhaps an opportunity to reach out to older relatives, and if you haven't done so already, you could still do so. To ask them about their history and form a connection regarding that topic. The last thing I want to talk about, because I am an English teacher and it comes up quite a lot in conversations, is how to communicate effectively and appropriately. So in this time, you've obviously noticed that your teachers are emailing you through Edgelink and sending messages just to see how you're getting on with the work. They're not chasing you, they're just trying to make sure that you understand everything and that you are able to use the technology that's in place for you. So think about that. Have you actually thought about how you are addressing your emails? Have you got appropriate greetings? Have you clearly explained what you need your teacher to do? And have you signed off appropriately? Have you attached your work effectively? Have you proofread it? So do think about those things. So check the sender, check it is only going to the one teacher that you intend it for, because that's been an issue for a couple of you. Address your teachers by their name, let them know that this is the right sender, addressee, and then tell them what you're struggling with and what you're emailing for, make that really clear, and then ask them actually what you need help with. Say, could you please explain this idea to me? Could you direct me to any additional resources? Let them know what they can do to help you, because we're all ready to help you whenever you pop us a message on Edgelink. It might take some of us a little while to reply, just where we might not be in, or we're poorly, or not able to get to things as quickly, but obviously we are there for you, so do pop us a message. Sign off with who you are. It normally comes up really clearly on Edgelink, but just in case, always sign off and do proofread it carefully, just to make sure that we are maintaining those high standards of literacy even during this time, because it's all the more important. So I just want to end with that link back to our core values. This is all about the fact that you have to embrace school life in a totally different way and still have those high aspirations for yourself when you send those emails. Consider, using that as an opportunity to show off that you actually know how to communicate appropriately and effectively. But most of all, this is about developing resilience, communicating differently in a very, very different time. I hope that some of the ideas in here just make you think a little bit. So your challenge for this week is to make connections, connect with people in your households, connect with people from afar, connect with your teachers. Most of all, stay safe, and that's as part of your mental well-being as well, and your physical well-being. We look forward to welcoming you back soon, but for now we hope you're enjoying these virtual assemblies. If you've got any topics and ideas you'd like us to cover, give us a shout. Thanks very much, take care, bye.